You know, recently a politician was accused of hanging out on a weird porn website. And if you're feeling superior to him, ask yourself, what are you watching right now? You're watching a man being tortured for absolutely no reason by being shown leftists on Libs of TikTok. This is a terrible thing. It's sick. It's sick. You're a sick person, and you should step down and end your campaign right now. And if you're not having a campaign, you should start a campaign and then end it. So let's together watch these disgusting Libs of TikTok videos. Here we go.
If you are a man who has currently in your Facebook profile banner, whatever that back picture is behind your profile picture, some sort of Trump reference, a picture of you putting up a Trump flag 2024, a picture of you putting a Trump wrap on your boat. But most assuredly, if you have posted on your timeline, in your story, or your profile picture is the staged photo from Trump's rally where he was pierced through his ear with a bullet.
What are you, Down syndrome?
If that's your profile picture right now, I know for a fact you have never made a woman orgasm.
So I'm guessing the Trump tattoo on your private parts is a no sale. That's what I'm getting. I'm gleaning from these girls. They're not into Donald Trump, and they're not having orgasm. And that's a problem, but you know, a little friendly instruction would solve that problem, right? I mean, some guys, you know, I know, I've heard, you know, from ladies that some guys don't know how to get there. You know, it can be a little complex. Explain it.
It's infinitely complex. They have access to infinite time and space, but they're not bound by anything. They can't find a specific place in time. They can't communicate.
They're not idiots, and ignore the Trump tattoo. It actually I can promise you, the ladies tell me they feel great. All right. Where the hell do you get these things? People who work here are just sick. They are just sick people finding these videos. What else?
We have some breaking news, y'all, and this should be a shocker to no one. The Secret Service has stated for a long time and told Trump for a long time that his golf outings are a concern. So completely going against the Secret Service's advice and not doing golf outings, Trump has decided to continue on with his golf sprees, which ended up in the attempted taking of his life this weekend. The attempted assailant, or the assailant, was actually sitting waiting for Trump for over 12 hours in the golf course on the outskirts. So tell me, if Trump is that predictable that he can sit and wait for 12 hours knowing that Trump is going to be there golfing, he made it easy on himself to have the attempted taking of his life there. Let me know what you think. I think this just goes to show what type of presidency he would have in this instance.
So this actually does prove that purple dye rots your brain. This is the thing. If you put that purple dye in your hair, it feels fine at first, but then it slowly seeps in.
Alone at the edge of a universe, humming a tune. For merely dreaming we were snow.
And just eats away at the gray matter until you're saying things like it's Trump's fault, not the Secret Service's fault, that a guy waited for 12 hours in a spot where they knew he had line of sight to celebrity golfers.
Is it a man or a bush?
And nobody said anything. They said, is that an AK-47? He said, no, it's a camera. They said, oh, okay, as long as it's just a camera that fires rapid fire bullets, that would be fine. But it's his fault. Also, we already know what kind of presidency he would have, good economy, peace, because he had one already. So that works too. It's the purple dye. I'm telling you, it is the purple dye. Without purple dye, Trump would be elected like that.
I'm currently out on sick leave owing to injury in performance of job-related tasks in the workplace caused by classroom transphobia and homophobia, owing to my own beliefs and opposition to the school-to-prison pipeline This is a complicated situation, particularly because it is directly related to my gender identity and sexuality and homophobia in the classroom. But
I'm a tumor, I'm a tumor, I'm a tumor.
Make it clear
I'm a tumor, I'm a tumor, I'm a tumor.
it is because of the state takeover of Providence Public Schools.
What? All right. All I know is the longer this guy's leave lasts, the happier those children will be. I think we can just deduce. I know it's like being Sherlock Holmes, right? How did you know that? I don't know what it is. It just came to me in a flash that as long as this guy is not teaching, the kids in his class are going, ding dong, the witch is dead, the witch is, I think it's just, this is a good thing for the children in that school that this guy is so opposed to whatever phobia he's talking about that he's not going in and teaching children. The fact that he was ever teaching children, it needs to be investigated. We need a full investigation into this. As soon as they finish investigating everything else, we need to investigate this guy. Wow. That guy was a teacher in a classroom with children, innocent children, helpless children. I'm a sadder but a wiser man.
Who's next?
There's one thing that I wish white people understood. It is this. Your whiteness is the heaviest thing about you. It is so heavy that it outweighs any and all other marginalizing identities. Now, this is not to say that other identities aren't heavy. This is not to say that other identities aren't hard to carry. But it is to say that your whiteness in a white supremacist society like the United States is the key to care, empathy, dignity, support, justice, and freedom that people of color with the exact same marginalizing identities as you cannot access because they are people of color. Your white is heavier than your woman. Your white is heavier than your trans. Your white is heavier than your disabled. Your white is heavier than your poverty. Your whiteness is the heaviest thing about you. Think on that.
I'm sorry, just factually untrue. My whiteness is light as a feather. I put my whiteness on every morning, and it's like I suddenly feel like floating around the room. It's like wings. It's like feathery wings. I think, oh, my whiteness, it's just lifting me above.
No cap, y'all.
I'm not a white supremacist by philosophy, but I just am carried away by the lightness of my whiteness. It's kind of like a hot air balloon of joy that just carries me into far, far away from the lunatics on TikTok who I'm stuck watching now. That's you want to talk about heavy? That's what's heavy. All right, oh God, let's go.
One of my favorite teachable moments I've had as an educator came from students disrespecting pronouns. Now let me explain. Pronouns are a delicate art, especially in public school systems. So what I've always done in school and at after-school programs is during introductions, I always give mine. And in my little list of things I want to know, I say, you may specify your pronouns. You can also find me after. Just so no one is forced and no one makes a big deal out of it. It's really more for parents than students. And it's always a mixed bag. Generally speaking, people just say them or don't say them and don't make a production. But, once a group, you'll get somebody making some kind of joke. And this is where it gets teachable. One, I have a good sense of who's joking, but I don't know for sure. So what am I going to do? Say to a class of kids, okay, good one, about a kid's actual name and pronouns? No. I take every single student at face value. And I just immediately respect whatever they say.
So no sense of humor, and she's nuts. Is that what we get? These people are allowed. I don't think these people should be allowed into schools, let alone teach in schools. I'm trying to get my head around this. How you're watching in real time as my brain sort of ingests the fact that these people are teaching. They're not just like, could we have security, please? She's in the school now. We need security. No, they're actually saying we are hiring you to teach these children. She doesn't even know what sex people are. 3-year-olds know that. That's a man. That's a girl. 3-year-olds, she doesn't. How can she teach them? If someone like that walks into school, there should be guys parachuting out of the sky, with army weapons and carry them away to make sure our children remain safe. That's actually a good idea. I think I'm going to start to be an activist for that idea that whenever these people get anywhere near school, there's just an absolute federal raid and they are carried away before they get anywhere near a child. Because, oh Lord, we need to protect our children. All right, there's more.
To my white moms. All right, how are we talking police to our children? Yeah, my daughter
I can smell you.
Showed up with a little sticker that looked like a police badge. Apparently the police just showed up at her daycare. They ran their lights, they're like, whoop, whoop, we're here. And they were passing out badge stickers like they were candy. My daughter got to hold a walkie-talkie. She came home. She said, Mom, I'm a junior ranger. I need a police car. I was like, what the? Okay. We all know that my child's experience with the police is going to be vastly different than children that don't look like her. We all know this, okay? And I need to make sure I crush the idolization of police in her. Nope, not happening. Because God forbid I raise a child that sees someone get murdered in the broad daylight by the police and blames that person. The police were just doing their job. No. So moms, what resources are we using? What books? What talking points? How do we discuss this? I had no idea it started this early. She is 4. Okay, please help me. Okay, thanks.
Okay, I can help. As a white mom, let me just say that it's very simple. You say, the policeman is your friend. If you're in trouble, call the policeman. I don't care how the policeman treats anybody else. You are my child. Call the policeman. The policeman is your friend. The policeman is actually the friend of anybody who's not actively robbing a store. But since I don't expect you to be robbing a store, the policeman is your friend. Call the police. And then, you know what was also good? Because they gave her that little sticker that says, I'm a junior ranger. You want to replace that with a metal one, I think. It's more substantial. She can clip it on. She'll really look more real. And maybe also a police cap would be good. Another thing is, if you don't like the way daycare is treating your children, maybe take care of them yourself. That would be also a good thing to do. But I don't want to judge. I'm not judging anybody. If I were judging people, I would not be here, because I would have already looked at my staff and thought, oh, get those guys. I'll get them if they're the last thing I do. Is that the end? Oh, thank God. I'm sorry. I just had an emotional moment. I'm fine now. I'll be fine for the rest of the day before I collapse. If you would like to partake of the lightness of my whiteness, like and subscribe. And please subscribe to The Andrew Klavan Show wherever you get your podcasts.